Hello and welcome to another episode of Space Engineers. And we're not on the moon, we're actually on my test planet, as this is creative mode, and we are going to do some ship design. So here, this is where I've got just a smattering of ships. This one is currently being deconstructed by this nanites. We've got the Dropship, sort of the Mark I of it, which actually has a little bit of freaking damage on the front corner in the blueprint, which is kind of annoying. I should probably replace that. But yeah, there's the first dropship, and then we have my little fighter, actually a thicker version of it, which will be used to replace the current fighter, because if we look in here, the current one I'm using is this one. And so let me just slap that in. Defense shields not supported in survival. That is fine. If we take a look at this, you can see that it's pretty thin all along the bottom. So like there's only like 2 blocks down, and then it gets down to the thrusters, and it goes down to the pods. Where on these guys, it is literally same bottom height as the pods, and it just gives more space in the nose, which then gives this huge quantity of space inside that we can just fill with all sorts of things, like tuck in some batteries underneath there, pile in all the everything you could ever want, and it could all fit in here. They've got a version to work with Oki's weapons, a version to be a cargo that's got additional large thrusters on the bottom, and a version to just be sort of the general one, although this one doesn't have a connector port. Both this one and this one have connector ports on their bottom, which are good things to have. And so I kind of need to use one of these or redesign that one to have a universal connector, because this one was on the back and it didn't really work out because this little sort of butt fin or whatever this is didn't work. But yeah, so that's this design. There's the dropship, of course, and here is a dropship. However, this one has been hulled out. It is completely empty inside. Everything has been removed, and it is ready for renovations. And we are going to do some pretty major renovations to this thing, I'm planning. My idea is I'm going to make it 2 taller and 2 wider. Just give myself a little bit more room everywhere. And this should be slopes, right? Yeah. Zip across. And if we do that, what I was thinking is that if I have enough room, what I'd like to do, although I don't know if this would fit with just 2 taller, but we might make it work. We'll have to find out some way to make it fit. Is you can see how the sort of the nacelles on the side have this line going down, but then it's like basically flat underneath because there's a large thruster pointing downwards. I was wondering, since we're gonna get, instead of most likely 1 large thruster in the center here, we could fit 2 large thrusters down, and then I was gonna do 2 large thrusters over here at the nose of the ship, because we'll have enough room to do that. I was thinking I could mirror the pods, so I could take this sort of slant, and then when I get to here, mirror that back down underneath, and I could get more thrusters pointing forwards and backwards. Because right now, when it comes to like braking thrust, we just have these 3, and on the other side, another 3. So 6 small thrusters. When this ship is fully weighed down, it requires you to flare up in order to get your bottom thrusters to really stop yourself. So that's not the best. So that would be kind of nice to get. If I brought this down and maybe redesigned it, I could maybe have an array of 6 here, or maybe even more. Maybe I could expand this out by 1, so I could have 8 on each side. So then it would be 16 in total instead of 6, which would make my braking thrust so much stronger. But yeah, that is the idea there. So we're going to get it going. And I think a fun way to do this, because I kind of want to duplicate what I would do in the actual game. I want to try to do this with some pistons and such and see if this is possible. My idea is, and I don't have to do anything beyond just having these be for mechanical purposes. I'll throw a couple pistons down, and yeah, that'll be fine. Realistically, I just need the one actually. And then after piston, we'll put blocks coming out and blocks coming up until we can put a landing gear facing that way. But what we first need to do is bring this out a little bit. So let's take this piston, we'll go half our distance. Because the idea is I'm going to set this up on each side, lock onto the ship, slice the ship in half, separate them out, and then reconnect the sides. I want to see this as possible. Really, on this episode, I don't know how much I'm going to cut out. I don't know exactly what I'm going to be doing, but it's just going to be me playing around building ships, because some people requested to see a design type episode, and here it is. So that there, we can keep going closer. Boom. Locked. Alright. So realistically, I don't need that big arm. I just needed to do that to see how much room I needed. Boom. And it's just a creative world. We can just let that be there. Alright. So now we need to duplicate that off to either side. So we'll stick this one out 5 meters. Reverse. And we just need to go, what was that? 2 over? Okay, easy peasy. Now each block here is 2.5 meters wide, if I'm not mistaken. So those are all locked on. Now what we can do, we can separate there. And we can go to the ship, and we can, if we Control Shift right click, we should be able to drag a line through the entire ship and slice the majority of it apart. Nice. And all we have to do is just finish off the floor. And the ship is in two. That looks so cool. Just to remove the glass while we're here. Alright. So now we will take these and let's extend these out. So 2.5 meters for each block. So let's send these out to 7.5. Might have to send them out to a tiny bit more than that, but we'll get this figured out. Because I'm thinking I can do this in the actual game, and then I won't have to worry about, like, rebuilding bits of the ship. I can simply set up, like, a gantry, and then take the ship, quarter it up, separate it out, fill in the gaps, and then I can make the ship bigger just like that. Alright, so that is good. Now what I want to do is do a merge block. Let's see. Can I do that here? Will it allow me to place a merge there? Nope. So we need to make this go out a tiny bit. Let's go to 7.7. Just a little bit of space. Still no. Alright, let's go all the way out to 10. And then we'll bring it back to 7.5. There we go. So now we'll bring this back. Minimum distance 7.5. Reverse it. And now these two guys should merge. And now things should build across and it connects back up. And then once it's connected there, I can drop the merges and reconnect it to here. Then I should be able to drop the landing gear off each side. It is reconnected to this. Oh, it's not reconnected to that. Ooh, I need to do a merge here. I see. Alright, well, let's remerge it to this thing. Let's stick a piston. Let's stick a merge block on the piston. And then this is the only thing connecting the two sides, so I need to put another brace. Okay, good. So that's braced up there. And now merge block here. And now raise this bad boy up. Which I have no idea how far it needs to go. Let's just go like 2.5 for now. Just one block, right? Yeah, probably. Snap. Now that that's connected, we'll temporarily send up another line here. Oh, come on, that should have connected again. Oh, no, wait. I know why it's not connecting. I have to do all sorts of craziness with merge blocks today. Oh well, this is fun. I'm enjoying this. We'll do this. We'll do a merge block here. We'll do a merge block here. Where's the... There it is. And now we reverse this. I believe this is what we need. Now we need... That should bring down the entire thing as soon as we get rid of this. Now the entire thing's coming down again. And it should remerge to its old landing gear. Oh, come on. Attach. Why you no lock? Alright, fine. My god, I'll make you a new landing gear link. No, I want to do this. I want to get this thing to work. We'll look at the rotor displacement here. I have a feeling like I'm going to, it's not a rotor. Alright. I'm feeling I'm going to blow something up here, but it's going to be great. If I get rid of this, will everything be fine? Yes, it will! Oh, bloody excellent. Alright, that was silly, and now that reconnected, so I can get rid of this arm. And there we go. That was entirely silly, but we managed to expand the ship sideways without having to do any of this rebuilding. This is so something I want to try in the survival, because if I could do that in survival, like, that's so much ship that I don't have to rebuild or think about or anything like that. I just remake it. No thinking. Excellent. Okay. Now. What I'd like to do is possibly do the same going up. But I'm not sure if that is going to be as required as this side-to-side. Because the big part about the side-to-side is that, like, getting it to having more width is that, you know, all it needed was... how can I say it? I'm not saying this correctly. It was symmetrical. I just needed to pull it to the side. If I want to expand things upwards by a bit, I have to think about how I want to expand them. If I want to go a couple blocks higher, do I want to have, say, a subfloor. Because if I went a couple blocks just going downwards, and I made that my new floor, what I could do is I could run all sorts of cables through there, and I could hide thrusters. So if I look at, say, my hydrogen thrusters, I could have all sorts of piping running through there and then just have loads of thrusters pointing downwards, and I could basically coat the bottom with thrusters. Actually very similar to what I've done on my fighters. If we want to quickly take a peek at one of them, I'll just hop into this version. If I unlock and just hover for a second, we can see on my nacelles on the side, I have a bunch of small thrusters sort of embedded, and the large thrusters in the center, as this is the cargo version, are also embedded. So by embedding them, it means that they have, no problems with clearance. So I wouldn't have any problems with just lining the bottom of this with small thrusters. I probably even maybe wouldn't need as many large thrusters pointing downwards. I could just have a pair of them here, now that this has extra space. A pair of large thrusters should easily fit. Ooh, wow. Even a trio now fits in the center. Oh, very nice. I could do a trio of large thrusters back in the center, and then just like a... so that's essentially the same amount of thrust that ship has, but it's all in the center. Then I can get a little bit of extra thrust in the wings, and then line the bottom of this with excess small thrusters, and then just do the floor. Yeah, because the floor would be here at this level, so it would be aligned with the bottom of these thrusters. I think that sounds good. I think actually that sounds really good. Let's move these thrusters back one so they're aligned with the center of those wings, those nacelles I've got. And let's get that going here. So 1, 2, and 3 thrusters going back. The floor is still going to be here for the inside of the ship, but the outside of the ship is going to be further down. That's how it'll work. Okay, let's get our symmetry back on here. That one, please. Thank you. And excellent, symmetry's back. And let's build up the back of this, which means that that'd be wrong. We could. God, I'm doing things so incorrectly. We can keep this angle going back down to them. Yeah, that should fit. So let's expand out the floor a little bit. Use that as a connection point. And build this back. Like so. And then same here. Make another connection point. And then build that back. Very interesting. And that should give us, yeah, more than enough room. Because now what we could do is let's cut this off right here. And let's just cut all the way around, all the way here. We don't want any of that. That should all have fallen off the other side as well. Yeah. And now we can essentially duplicate that, but going downwards. Now the question is, do I want to expand this out 1 point or anything? Oh, and also, well, I should have it high enough that I have enough room that I can get a Gatling turret underneath this. So if I can, because I have a, before, there would be a, I'll clear up my bar here and get some tools back. I would have a turret There. Now, if I can duplicate this and have a turret on the bottom side of this, like sort of right here where it's floating, oh, that would be great. Might need to make this a bit more of a... bit more aggressive. Okay, let's put this back and let's just see how this works. So this is a slant base. So let's get that in place. Yep. Then a small, like a half slope. And then after that, it is a slant base as well. Again, this time with the small side that way. Then it's a conveyor, and it's a turret. And the turret facing that way. That'll be above where the ship lands, because the base of it's going to be down here. So yeah, these arms will fit, and we can have the turrets on it, like so. So we can have trip turrets on these arms. Very nice. Okay, I'm excited about that. Let's see. I'm still liking these slants here, although what we could do is we can get rid of this stuff. We'll redesign this somehow, and we could have it, we're all solidly connected. Yep, we are. We could have it so that we have a larger array of thrusters here. So these ones have 3 pointing forward, so I could double it up just by copying this, essentially. Or I could do more. I think just doubling it up would be fine for now, because the thrusters would be small ones right there. So it would be 3 thrusters there, and then... Is that all that needs to go down? Yeah, surprisingly. Then after that, it would be another block downwards, and then 3 thrusters here. With the this stuff in between. So we've got a point, a tip here, then a mid piece, then another tip, another mid piece, then number 5, which would be that, and where is it? There, and full block. So you have those as your nacelles. Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, I think that would work pretty well. Yeah, let's copy those going back there. I'm hearing like noises, like things knocking into each other. Is there something like loose around here? I can't tell. Oh well, this will work out. Let's get that built up here. So the top will stay the same. But I'm really thinking like I want to take these one out further, because then I can get more top braking force. But I don't really ever need that top braking force, because like if I need to slow down pointing upwards, like that's weird. I don't typically need that. I theoretically could get another one here beside this turret. So if I take this turret off, I could take this out, and I could put a top base thruster right there. And then just have the turret have thrusters on it side? Would it work that way? Seems like the turret will place. And I'm not sure if that will cause any turret damage. I don't believe it will. So I think it'll be fine. But, yeah. I haven't had any issues with downward-facing thrust yet. Alright, upward-facing thrust. So I will leave it as such. Okay. So, unfortunately, I sliced a lot of this stuff off the back. I've got to rebuild it all. But we'll get around to that. We had these, so we're going to go from... We were before only 3 side-facing thrusters, if I'm not mistaken. Because we had 1, 2, and then I tucked another one in there simply because I wasn't having enough thrust. But with this, we're going to have 4, which will be quite nice. So that's doubling up that thrust, which is excellent. So from here, we need the this one with the invert like corner, like so. Oh, right, because that's now the centerpiece. So we actually need to change what this block is here. That is no longer that. Okay, let's deal with that in a minute. Change that block to there. This block goes here. Then after that, we've got solid blocks coming down. And slants going back. Alright, that's pretty easy. And slant going out of here. Which, there we go. That's the orientation we want. Another full block, then more slants. And that brings us down to that level. Excellent. So then we'll have to shape the armor, maybe extend the butt out a couple blocks. Maybe that's where the length of the ship is going to come from. Is that we'll take this armor and go dunk dunk, so that way it aligns properly down here, and maybe expand the flat space in the back. We could theoretically make it a quad thruster, couldn't we? I mean, this fits. We could slide this up 1, and then this is 3 tall. So if this was here, so it'd be 1, 2, 3, and then we could fit another one right on the other side of it. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we could make a quad thruster design in the back, which would give this thing like stupid amounts of thrust. Nice. All right, let me just seal up this roof here real quick, as I kind of don't want this ship to fall apart. All right, we'll have to, of course, redesign the front and all that jazz. That's good. I like this top profile right here, how it sort of, like the very top of the ship slid right into the cockpit without having to have like a bump on it. That made me happy, so I'm happy that'll stick around. Yeah, let's get this all aligned. But yes, life is... Why does it seem like every time I try to make Space Engineers videos right now, it's like my life is going, yeah, no, you don't have time for it. Like this weekend I have to do stuff for my martial arts that I do, or having a seminar, and so I'm like, oh god, I have to do a bunch of setup for that. Whereas my time to make videos, so this is my last video I get to make before the weekend. After this, everything is all eating my time. I'll have no time for anything. Oh, those nacelles are looking great. Alright, let's get the little bit of extra flavor there. Get into this armor. cut it back, and just put in solid block there. Excellent. Now I believe the best here is this a solid block? No, it's a slanty block. Okay. But we'll have to make it work with this new lowered armor. We'll make it work. It'll be fine. Those are going to be solid blocks. Then the armor here will be slanty blocks. No, that was here, then here, and then this block here, and that block. Nope, wrong one. There. That's it. That's how that one was done. And this is the new bottom, so we'll do slanty bits for it. Armor slopes. Come on, align. There we go. And we'll armor slope this as far as we can forward. Is that what we're going to have to move down to? And this means that we won't need that pipe going straight through the middle of the ship anymore. Also, I should get rid of these lights just for a moment. So like on this one, I always disliked this part of the design. The fact that there was that pipe going right through the center. That won't have to exist in this ship anymore because the pipe can go in this crawl space underneath, come back to the thrusters, and then go up, and come over here to the front, and then go up. We can still keep the cargo bay here exactly where it is, exact same size. It's just we're gonna have this nice space underneath, and also this would be a great place to squirrel away things like batteries and gyroscopes and all that kind of stuff. So I don't have to actually have them out front and deal with them like that. I can just say, oh yeah, those are things that are all hidden. Oh yeah, this thing's gonna look like a whale when it's done. Oh, this is gonna be great. And plus, I can have a cargo port right at the center, right at the floor, which will be good, because then you could just land, and you won't have to be like attached to the side through there, like this cargo port here. You can just sort of plunk your ass down in the center and just not care about the world. Alright. Let's finish up these nacelles here. Yeah, get a block there, block there. This is going to be some more conveyories. I know people say, like, don't use junctions because they induce a lot of lag, but in this sort of conveyor situation, you need to use a lot of junctions. Because the annoying part about tubes is they don't connect to their sides. They only connect to, like, the tubey bits, so that you can't make structure out of them. And that's the most important bit right here, is that I need to be able to have my ship bits have structure to them. This thing needs to be nice and strong, like bull. Okay. So, those 6 there should be mirrored by... Oh man, I don't need to put thrusters backwards because I can put like 4 large thrusters in the butt, so I don't need it, but I totally want to do it. I want to have this huge array of thrusters, and it's going to be beautiful. Oh, it's going to be absolutely beautiful. Excellent. Alright, those will be there. Then another... I believe it's 2 blocks down I need to go. Then another array of thrusters downwards. Or backwards. Excellent. Then more conveyors to convey them up. More there to convey those up. And we've got this space here, which I should make sure that side is thoroughly attached before I start disconnecting things. Yeah, it should be good. I want to disconnect there a bit. And then we're going to have thrusters pointing downwards, which is going to be on these bad boys right here, if I'm not mistaken. Which is interesting. This doesn't feel right. It should be such that those conveyors are there, and there's... feels like this turret isn't far enough down. This turret has more clearance. Because this is one conveyor in, and then that one. Yeah, that feels wrong. What happens when I take this turret once more? Once more into the breach. It feels a bit better, but then it doesn't align. Oh, right, because of reasons. That's why it's not aligning. Because this is supposed to be at the bottom of this, and then continue on, where these ones are mirroring in a different way. If I wanted to have that there, I could only have one block in between these, and I would have to change this whole thing. That's why it wasn't aligning the way I wanted it to. Ah, okay. So how do I want to do this on the side? I should redesign this. I should bring this whole thing up by one. Yeah, because then I can have the turret where it was before, here. Which would be a place where the turret would have enough clearance to be able to do its thing once it's landed on the ground. Yeah. Alright. I'll probably cut some of this out because this is going to take me a little while to do this cleanup, but let's just give this a go. Okay, so that's mostly rebuilt. I'm liking the look of that. Nice and tight there. We've got even turrets all the way around. And thankfully we are doing the symmetry, so it is automatically making it pretty on the other side for us. Which is what I love about that symmetry mode. Now. What to do here? Probably just do a simple banding. I'll do just small up, like half up on either side here, and then half block, like so. Just sort of make that band. And then along with that, because of that, if I can get into here, yes I can, we can do a junction there, and another side thruster if we wanted to. Could we? No, not really, because we want to cover this center thruster up. So we don't want to do that. We'll take that out for now. We want to do a armor block there, and then a... Oh, that works quite nicely. We'll do a that. Yeah, that looks great. Yeah, block there, and slope base there. Oh, that looks perfect. That looks absolutely perfect. All right. So now block there, block there. We're gonna have a couple small thrusties downwards, because we're not going to worry about our big thrusters anymore, because we're going to have them here. Alternatively, what I could do is I could just do it like a big cluster of 6 of those things, couldn't I? Depends how far forward I want to bring this utility part of the ship. Like, I'll take these out for now just to get them out of the way. Let's see. I've been designing for the majority of a day here. We're going to use the powers of creative, and we're going to rewind the day. There we go. And it's sun again. It's morning. Well, welcome to another video, as it is morning. But here, I was thinking we're going to do essentially a slope backwards. So we'll do a full block here. We'll do slope tip, slope base, slope tip, like that. We'll get rid of this corner bit, make that a solid block, so that it lines in like that. Oh, that looks good. I think that looks good. Of course, I'm biased. I think all my designs look good. And I'm even considering, let's make this a little bit higher, so we have a little bit of a difference in height between the top and the bottom. That'll look absolutely amazing. Like that. Yeah, so it extends out that little bit further. So our thrusters are nice and tucked in to cover, just in case they need to, they can't be shot from every single direction. Like so. We'll do the same over here. Flip that around. Oh, that's a small block. And there. Excellent. You can tell this is how I design. I just have like a pile of shit all over the place. Oh well. It all works out in the end. It all works out in the end. Alright, so that's going up to there. We need a slant to do this armor shaping. So slant and slant. And then back from there, it is flat all the way back. And that has one more flat and then a slant up. So flat, and this one will be flat. And then we have a slant upwards and flat on the inside here. So we just fly inside and just seal that off. Excellent. I can seal that off as well. And now we have a nice little nacelle. These are all of our conveyors we need to convey it up. And we can tuck things in here as well, if we wanted to. All sorts of fun stuff. Like, the little nacelles could be full of batteries and such. We have our upgraded nacelles. We got 6 thrusters there, 4 there, 6 there. So 12 thrusters for braking. We've got the same amount for lowering the ship, which is probably all we'll need. We've got less now for lifting the ship, but we just need to redesign its nose cone, probably. Let's take the nose cone out. One more, maybe. If we have pointy bitty, and we go slopey, take that across, cut this piece out, and make that the new front. And I can cut some of this stuff back here. Very good. Cut that right off. We'll have to get a slant for this. Yep, right there. And a slant for that. And we'll make this 2 tall. Or 3 tall. Oh, 3 would probably work well. Let's see. This goes 1, 2, and then it sort of goes into the things. This could go... because this guy's got a 2 tall center. Oh, and he's got a 3 tall centers because he got the little bits there. Uh-huh. Right. I see. Yeah, let's make it 3 tall. Let's see what that looks like. And then from here, we need the little cornery bits. All the little bits. And then we can start going backwards. Back to here, aligning things up like so, and like so. Then that would be full block back here. And underneath here, more of this, more of that, more of this, and more of... not that. What do I need back here to transition back into... I need that piece. I need to transition back into slant here, which is actually that piece right there. Then I can just go back into normal light slopes, like so. Fill... random block inside there. Fill that back in. Very good. Extend this out. Fill that up. Fill this center in, and now I've got a nice sort of center to it, so I can pop it through there if I need to, say, put a turret on the front, or put some... I could put a barrage of missile banks in here too. I could fill this front up with 6 missile launchers. Let's see what that looks like. Normal... there'll be rocket. Yeah, there we go. Rocket launchers. We could pop in an array of rocket launchers like this on the front. Oh, that looks awesome. But we'll leave that for the different designs of this, because we're going to take this ship and we're going to make a military version, a cargo version, and such. We're just getting here the new sort of baseline, the slightly larger, slightly more filled out shape for it. We'll do a solid block there just for structural integrity, and then that and that. Excellent. Then for here we can fill in the floor a bit, or at least an indicator of where the floor will be down here. Excellent. And get rid of that block. And just do a little bit of extra connections here to make sure this thing doesn't fall off of its landing gear. This is looking like a big boy. Oh, this thing's looking fat as hell. It is definitely the Dropship XL. That is for sure. Let's get this thing aligned and build this up. I want to get some full blocks in here. Make sure that's structurally sound. And then here we are back at cockpit level. So for cockpit, cross here and go back a few. And let's get a seat of some kind. Control stations. Get a flight seat. I believe the best position for a flight seat is right here. And then we just need a little bit of windows. So we need a 1x1 flat, and I believe it's a 1x2 slope, if I'm not mistaken. A 1x2 slope. Oh, it's in here in 1x1 slope. There we go. But ooh, we're wider now, so we have more room to do our cockpit if we wanted to. We could still do the same size of cockpit, but why do that when we can have a bigger cockpit? Let's flip this. Like so. How can I do this? I can do it on this side, right? Yeah, there we go. Nice and wide cockpit, although that's not going to get me the seal I want. So that needs to be, instead, This way? Which way does this need to be? This needs to be on a sharp angle going backwards with that way. Yeah, that aligns with that. And then a 1x3. Do we even have 1x3 windows? That is a good question. I think we do. 1x3. Yes, we do. We have 1x3s. By 3 window flat. And let's get it in there. I'm not sure. Is this a mod for this particular window? I can't tell. But the it's transparent on both sides. That's interesting. 1x3. Is we not 1x3 slope, 1x3 face? I think this might be a mod that is giving me these 1x3s. I'm not sure where they are coming from. Let's invert it. Come on. There's got to be one of these that have the glass being shaded outside. There, let me turn off the mirroring for a second. It's getting in my way. I have no idea why that's doing that. But, whatever. We can always just go and do something else here. We could still have the 1x1 being the main window here. Because we've got that guy. And we could draw this whole cockpit thing back a bit if we wanted to, or just put in three panels. I mean, that doesn't look bad. The reinforced glass like that. Alternatively, we could have sort of had this thing extend out a tiny bit. So we could get rid of this, replace it with these blocks here, essentially. Replace them with solid things. Then leave this block in the center, and then get another window, and get a 1x1 slope, and do that. Actually, it looks kind of cool. So for this armor block here, it would be best to be replaced with this block, no? It's closest, probably. Or maybe this. Yeah, that won't make a seal. So probably this is the closest, if not invert corner dude here. That? Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, great. Invert corner. And then we'll just have a like that. Alternatively, we can just sink this back one more, so we don't have to screw up our front angling, which is the way I like it. So let's do that. I don't want to screw up this front armor that much. I kind of like the way it is. Like so. So that means that this seat is one further back. This stuff up here can be one further back, which I need to turn my symmetry back on. How do I have this over here? Just right up to there. It'll work like that. We'll do the one block. We'll do the double windows going backwards. We'll just add the armor back over here. And do the armor on top. And call it good. Yeah. That should work out. So that's sort of the same cockpit there. Then we'll do that. And then we just have to basically reshape this stuff, which shouldn't be that hard. That should be pretty easy here, just to reshape this stuff back. As we already have it started, and we just need to follow it. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, just like so. Excellent. But here we are. We've got a pretty long episode already. I'm not done with this design, of course. There's a bunch I need to fill out, but this is sort of the majority of it. I mean, we've gotten the major parts of it done, because we've expanded it downwards. We've got this huge cargo area below it now. We'll replace that with a proper slope. So we can run our pipes down there. We have newly redesigned nacelles. We're going to put like at least four thrusters in the back, if not just 3. 3 thrusters would probably be more than enough, and then center them to the body. We're going to have at least 3 thrusters here, if not maybe even 6. So this thing's going to have practically infinite lift compared to its weight. And yeah, I think we made great progress, and you got an idea of how I play around with my ships and play around with their armor and stuff like that. And hopefully you found it interesting. But you shall see me building this in the actual playthrough very soon, as we're going to retire the current version of the dropship. Probably relegate it to doing just a few more trips back and forth from Earth before we sort of fully get rid of it. Oh, there's some damage up here. But that'll be easy stuff to do. Oh, cool. This gets all the way back to the... This gets all the way back to the cargo bay. Maybe I want to shove the cargo bay back a block. Huh. Or I could totally reorient the cargo bay and do all sorts of crazy stuff with it. Yeah. But for now, I think this is going to be good for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and you can tell me if you like watching me design ships, in which case in the future we can do more of this. Yeah, this thing's probably going back a little bit too far like that. I'm probably going to need to cut it off there and just to get it across somehow without it being too awkward, as this oh, but that V shape to the top of it is so striking. It's so beautiful. First world problems, right? Space engineers problems. But that's going to be it for now. The new XL Jumbo cargo ship, jump ship thing is going to be ready to rock in a future episode. But thanks for watching, and good hunting out there.